Deep fat fried. Deep fat fried. Deep fat fried.
Yeah, so could the Mandalorian.
Yeah, but that doesn't really
Doesn't
benefit him.
Doesn't really affect Dalsim as much. Now, there's probably things in there that are
Toxic.
Toxic, explosive, that might be damaging to both these guys. I don't know. I don't think there's any sort of filtration system built into the Mandalorian's helmet or anything. I don't think that's been established.
No.
So I mean, like, if you set a big garbage dump on fire, there's going to be some nasty shit in the air at that point.
They're both going to be contending with fumes for sure.
Right. So I don't know if it's the wisest strategy to set it on fire, but it might be Dalsim's only shot.
Right.
When he's...
So you think in desperation he's going to light the trash on fire?
Yeah, I mean, like, you might see a fucking... this might be an inferno at that point.
Well, are we assuming at this point that the Mandalorian still has his jetpacks? Can he just go in the air and just jump away from that?
I mean, I'm assuming that if Dalsim is to have any chance in this, one of his first priorities is going to be, I have to neutralize that fucking jetpack.
And I mean, he's stretchy, so he could reach up and grab the Mandalorian out of the air and pull him down.
Well, he'd have to at least see that before, because he might not be aware, because obviously they're not expecting the fight.
Yeah, there's no expectation here, so there's no prep. So, I mean, like, I think that
he's not going to just go into it knowing, I got to disable his jetpack. He's going to see it in
this open air kind of area, one of the first things the Mandalorian's going to do is fly up.
Right.
So, I mean, like,
and try and just launch missiles and shit.
And, try to fucking be death from above. So Dalsim, if he's going to survive, I think one of the first things he's going to do is try to take that jetpack out, which I think he's probably going to use a fireball. Maybe he's going to use the fireball the Mandalorian has to try to dodge it. Maybe as he's dodging it, Dalsim uses his teleport abilities to appear next to him and maybe fucking take the backpack away, the jetpack.
I mean, is there anything in the jetpack's design
how integrated is the jetpack?
Like,
not super integrated.
It
can be removed.
And is there anything in its design that makes it resistant to massive blunt force trauma?
That's really not clear.
Because, Dalsim can stand in front of a car and beat it until it's literally just a pile of rubble.
Right.
So I mean, he hits hard.
The jetpack is not made of Beskar. So, I mean, like, you have to assume that it's
two tanks.
Vulnerable. And I mean, I don't know how durable it is. That's really not been made clear by what I've seen in the series.
I mean, the question too is how far can Dalsim teleport? If he can teleport far enough to grab him, I mean, is he able to float that high in the air? Because I mean, if he teleports into the air, is he just going to drop?
I mean, look, at the end of the day, I just feel like the Mandalorian has just a few more tricks up his sleeve than Dalsim does. I feel like, maybe you can neutralize the jetpack, but he's still got those charges. He's still got that blaster. He's still got his fucking cable line. He's still got, his years of tactical experience and combat training and stuff, which he's no slouch at. I don't know if he's on the same level as Dalsim, but
if there's no jetpack and the environment's on fire,
both of them are going to be inhibited by. I mean, maybe Dalsim's not inhibited by the fire, but he's certainly going to still be. It's going to be a problematic
the fumes for sure.
There's
nothing
horrible garbage.
I mean, he does do yoga. Maybe he can just not breathe. Maybe he's got breath control.
Maybe he does. I mean, that's kind of like a question there. I mean, if he can fucking hold his breath for long enough, I don't think the Mandalorian has any such ability. So maybe his trump card is setting the garbage pile on fire and just fucking letting the environment do his job for him.
Or at least letting the environment weaken his enemy to the point where he's assailable. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know. This is a tough one.
Where he could swoop in and take advantage.
I just don't know that the environment being on fire should totally neutralize the Mandalorian.
I don't think it does. I mean, he's dealt with fire. He's dealt with lava. I mean, he carries a flamethrower, so he knows how to be in an environment where there's fire.
Look, them both going to flat foot, I think the Mandalorian is going to be the more prepared fighter because he's going to have to realize I might have to fight in a variety of environments. He's going to keep that in his mind. Dalsim is kind of just, they meet at the city dump. And I'm going to have to give it to the Mandalorian.
It's really just kind of unclear to me because you've always only seen him in a one-on-one fighting game. It's really kind of unclear what sort of tactical abilities Dalsim has. Like, how is he at using his environment? How is he at confronting an opponent and strategizing and improvising in real time?
Right.
And
yeah, I mean, I think the Mandalorian gets the edge here,
Yeah.
but just a little bit. Like, I gotta be
close.
honest with you, Dulcim put up a fight in both of these, and he got real unlucky having to face two guys with battle armor.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
come on.
Yeah,
and at some point, I'm suspecting that maybe the Mandalorian and Iron Man might go at it at some point. We'll see.
It's possible.
So our next fight is Batman versus the Bride from Kill Bill.
This is a pretty crazy one.
So this is going to be a pretty insane battle.
Yes,
It's
where are
going
they
to depend a
fighting?
lot
Let's
on
see
these roles.
how these roles go. So let's get rid of the city dump as a venue. A crowded McDonald's.
Okay. All right.
So we'll discuss.
definitely in the bride's favor there, I would say.
Okay, so let's see Batman's role here.
So where's Batman?
12. So Batman is unprepared,
Unprepared.
but no handicap.
No handicap for him.
The Bride. Also
Unprepared.
unprepared, also no handicap.
Okay.
Okay. So they both both of them are hungry,
They both go to
if-
McDonald's.
Both want that Big Mac attack.
and
Yeah.
if he's unprepared, we got to think that it's Bruce Wayne that walks into the McDonald's, not Batman,
Right.
because he has to put on the suit. He doesn't wear it all the time.
No, whereas the Bride,
Whereas the bride's always
she's
got
always
her
the
sword.
bride. She's always, she doesn't, she's got her sword.
Right.
She doesn't have a whole menagerie of gadgets.
So once again, the ethics come into play.
So,
here.
yeah, the Bride she's not necessarily evil where she wants there to be civilian casualties, but
if
she's
she's
not
got to cut through some people, she's going to do
She
it.
ain't going to lose no sleep if she's got to cut a few motherfuckers
Batman's
down.
definitely going to be more concerned.
Batman is going to be trying to protect those people.
I don't think the bride would go out of her way.
No,
to
she's
hurt
not.
people or use them as human shields.
But
No.
she's going to be it's not going to be a factor in her mind. She's going to be focused on her battle.
But if it comes down to landing a lethal blow and she's got to cut somebody down to do it, she's going to do that. Whereas Batman's not.
Batman will not do that.
Batman will not use lethal force.
So the fact that we're in a crowded McDonald's kind of plays to the Bride's favor.
I think so.
And it also kind of says that Batman is probably not there in his bat suit, especially
No.
since he doesn't know that fight is going to happen.
Right. He's unprepared, so he's going to have to get into that bat suit.
Right. So, he's going to have to find a place to even go change into that. Now, neither of these people were given a surprise attack or anything, so I don't know how exactly we even justify this fight taking place or whatever, but
Dude, they both just walked in.
yeah, and for some reason, I don't know, maybe she just looks
Yeah.
at him and the fucking I
Yep.
can't really do the sound effect, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
The fucking, alarm shit plays, and she's like, oh, this is one of those motherfuckers that done wronged me.
Yep, gotta take him out.
Got to take this fucker out. Maybe she found out that, like, weapons were used against her were supplied by Wayne Enterprise.
Yeah, there
Or,
you
may-
go.
or maybe
something.
because Bill was like a real, well-known rich dude that could travel a lot. Maybe he and Bruce Wayne have traveled in the same social circles a few times. You know what I mean? At events.
Yeah,
or
and she's like, maybe I can squeeze this
retreats.
fucker for information about Bill or something. I don't know. It's
Right.
kind of hard to justify how
Well,
this happens.
as Bruce Wayne, she would not have any idea what his abilities were, though. You have to assume. 'Cause she's
If he
not-
could get his bat gadgets and stuff about him and get his suit on, then he's got a way better chance of winning this. But the question is, how does he do that?
Right. And another question is, well, like Scotty said, when she first confronts him, she's probably not going to have any idea that he has any sort of fighting ability at all. So, he's going to pretty quickly show her that he's a capable martial artist, and she's going to start taking him a lot more seriously. And is she really going to let him run off to the bathroom to change into the fucking bat suit, at that point?
Yeah, like, how is that going to go down? I guess the fact that it's a crowded McDonald's could mean that in the ensuing chaos,
Yeah.
Bruce could slip away. And we've established he can put that suit on quick.
Pretty quick.
It's not like he's standing there for 5
Yeah,
minutes zipping it up and buttoning it up.
Can he
and
get
shit.
to the roof of the McDonald's or something? Is the Batmobile
He
nearby?
can get to anything he needs to get to. Well,
Yeah,
if we're assuming he's at McDonald's, he's probably not.
probably not.
He's probably not driving the Batmobile. He's probably driving
But
some
he's
Bruce
been able to
Wayne
summon
thing.
them remotely as well.
That's true. So maybe he can summon it, but I don't know how long it takes to get there.
Yeah, that's true as well. So we don't know how long that would take.
So we're at the McDonald's. I'm going to assume the opening blow is probably hers if she's going to confront him. She's going to go confront Bruce Wayne.
And
She's
obviously,
probably going to try to use some sort of intimidation tactic to get information about Bill.
which is not going to obviously work.
And he's going to resist her, and he's probably going to at some point tip his hand that he's, a
knows how to
martial
fight.
artist and he knows how to fight. At which point she's probably going to start, draw her sword, A bunch of stupid people are going to pull out their cell phones like, oh, fight at the McDonald's.
Right. It's going to be chaos in the McDonald's. Some
So
people are
chaos.
going to run.
Some people are going to be
screaming out.
running. Some people are going to be screaming. Some people are going to be getting their phones.
Some
and be like,
redneck
"Damn,
might even jump in and try and break it up. You know
break
what I
it
mean?
up, y'all. There might even be some fucking
Yeah,
white
some-
knight motherfucker
dude,
that's
some-
like, don't hit a woman, and he gets,
Yeah, dude, some
punched
fucking,
or something.
some asshole redneck gets cut down in the fucking melee. Yeah, the White Knight gets knocked out by Bruce Wayne.
So maybe at some point when her sword is drawn, the chaos starts to go down. Maybe maybe Batman just jumps into the back, not necessarily the bathroom. Maybe he just jumps behind the counter or something.
I mean, he would definitely have to be evasive at first because it's
Yeah.
not a fist fight. She's got a fucking Hanzo sword, so
Right. So
no matter what kind of martial artist you are, you can't block one of those with your body.
right.
So he's gonna realize that he's outgunned here by a superior opponent probably, and he's gonna try his best to get his gadgetry going. He needs to be Batman to beat her.
Right. So
for sure.
we're going to assume that underneath, I'm just going to,
I mean,
for the sake of making him Batman, because this is not Bruce Wayne versus the Bride, it's Batman versus the Bride.
Right.
Correct.
We're going to have him get in the bat suit, but we're going to assume that he's going to take some damage in that process of trying to get in the bat suit.
He's gonna be in the bat suit but wounded.
So,
he's had to block some near misses. Like, it's Batman, so he's not going to have a deep cut, but he's definitely going to be cut.
He's cut
he's
up,
got some maybe he's got a
bruised
slash
up.
or two on his arm. He's got some bruising on his fucking ribs from taking a punch or two. But he's gotten into his suit. I kind of see them fighting in the back of the fucking McDonald's near the
In the kitchen?
Yeah, in the kitchen area.
Well, that kind of benefits the Bride too. She's got experience fighting in a kitchen.
I mean, so does Batman. I mean,
Batman has experience fighting
yeah,
everywhere.
I don't think look, the Bride against most opponents is to say definitely superior martial artist. I don't think you can necessarily say she's superior to Batman. I mean, I would at least say equal.
I think it's a tough sell.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's hard to say that Batman's going to be. There's any opponent like as far as martial arts, it's just Batman's going to be schooled. Where it's like I have no idea how to defend this.
I'm thinking that we're going to have a real... I feel like this is a battle that's really going to take a lot of the environment into fucking play. Like, they're going to be using the hot grease against each other and the fucking...
Batman's going to be using it as a utility.
The grill.
She's going to be using the environment and the sword, just, like, pop around something or, like, stab through something. That might look like, it's a solid surface.
Now,
or
he's
something.
got his gadgets that he kind of relies on, so I'm thinking that probably the one utilizing the environment more is going to be the Bride, because she's shown a better proclivity to do that.
Right. Well, she needs to. She doesn't have the arsenal he does.
Right, so I'm thinking
But
that...
Batman has also shown the ability to just disappear, essentially. Like
We've seen her block like kunai and shit that are being thrown at her
Right.
too with the fucking sword. So his
So
batarangs.
he's probably going to throw a few batarangs at her. She's probably going to knock those right out of the air. I'm thinking she's going to maybe use her sword to like flip the like one of the fucking fry baskets and launch a bunch of fucking scalding hot fries and oil at Batman's
Oh, of course.
fucking face.
And we got to keep in mind too. She's willing to kill him, and
Yes.
he's trying
And
to
he's
subdue.
trying to I mean, that's always been one of Batman's huge disadvantages. Is
Yeah.
He's not willing to kill his opponents.
and she's more than willing to cut him in half.
And she's happy to fucking slice the motherfucker
she doesn't have
up.
to limit her tactics.
So, Batman is definitely going to have a tough time containing the Bride and not, offing her.
Now, when it comes to some of his gadgets, though, she just doesn't really have an answer to it. Like a smoke bomb,
yeah,
and then he puts on his digital visor so he can see her, but she can't see him. I mean, that's totally within the wheelhouse of Batman. She doesn't have any special ability to, can she fight blind? Is that ever happen in the movies?
And we know that no, she never does fight blind. So we
Yeah.
don't know that she has that ability. Now we can assume that, with her her fucking ninja training and shit, or
right.
whatever.
Her Pai Mei training.
I
is,
mean, she's been trained
she's
by
more than capable of fighting.
Yeah, I'm going to assume that even blind, she can probably somewhat fight.
she's
but-
definitely not hindered by it like some people would be. She's got other senses. She's got her ears and her, she'd be better blind than most people, but it's still going to be a
I
hindrance.
mean, Batman's a master of stealth at the same time. So if he knocks her out,
But
that
this
much,
is not an environment that is really going to lend itself to a lot of stealth.
He doesn't have a lot of gargoyles he can zip up to.
Yeah,
in
we're talking
McDonald's.
about this is really
humans rely primarily on sight. If Batman has an advantage to see and she doesn't have, that is
Look,
a huge, even a small
when we're
environment.
talking close quarter combat in a confined
Okay.
environment.
Okay, well, let me turn that around. You swinging a sword. You can't swing a sword as well. In
Well,
a closed
exactly, and
environment.
that's it's very reminiscent of the trailer park fight from Kill Bill
Right.
Volume 2.
She
Where
manages
she had
to
a-
use the
she-
sword there.
Yeah, but she did have a lot of difficulty
Sure, getting it out.
drawing that sword.
Right.
But we're going to assume the sword's already drawn, but she's not going to get a good full swing. So, I mean, like, it's almost going to come down because of the limitations of this environment if we're assuming they're in the kitchen. Now, if they're in the dining room, it's a little differently. But if they're if they end up back in that kitchen,
Well, she's pursued Batman to the kitchen, so we have to assume that's where it's taken.
then we're talking about a brawl at that point. Now, Batman's got some gadgets and she's got her sword, but I mean, I almost feel like it almost neutralizes it to the point where these two are just in a straight up fucking fist fight at this point.
Yeah, I think you have to assume the sword gets knocked out of play very quickly.
I'm thinking that Batman's gadgets are pretty quickly neutralized because of this close quarters. He doesn't have time to reach in, fucking do some fucking razzle dazzle with a grappling hook or
how
something.
can you do it? There's nowhere to do the two.
This is down, in my opinion, to
A bare knuckle brawl.
this is a
basically.
brawl in the fucking McDonald's kitchen where, you know, the best you're going to do is maybe use the environment to your advantage. Maybe Batman can get a fucking smoke bomb off, or maybe he can't. You know, maybe he can fucking...
I mean, they both have similar origin stories when it comes to their martial arts, too.
Yes.
Both of them trained by consummate, almost supernatural martial arts masters.
right.
So it's not like, you know, we can just discount one or the other if it
Yeah.
comes to a fist fight. But I think the edge that is given is the fact that the bride is just wearing a yellow jumpsuit.
And Batman is
Yeah,
wearing...
that's
He's
true.
armored. He's got
Body
the
armor.
blade things
He's
he
got
can
his
block
cape.
with.
His cape can also
His
block.
cape can be used in the fight as well. So I think honestly, just because the environment forces them down to this very close quarters fist fight, we really can't say one of them is the more skilled martial artist than the other. Because
That's true. They have very similar.
That's
origin
just
stories.
semantic.
I mean, both of these guys. I mean, look, both Batman and the Bride have shown an ability to fight off, you know, literally armies.
Yeah,
like a small army of fucking thugs.
They're both expert martial artists. So
but if
it's
you-
like,
like
they
if,
can both do that. And
if she flings hot grease at him,
right,
90% of his body is probably at least initially protected from that.
but
true.
some of that.
Whereas if he
let's assume-
flings it at her, she's gonna get wherever she gets it. She's gonna get it bad.
Oh yeah, and look, he's the places where he's vulnerable to something like that is the bottom half of his face and maybe his eyeballs.
Right.
It's kind of unclear what protection his eyes have. So he might get some grease in an eye. It's probably not going to go in both eyes. He might get some burns on the side of his face. You know, it might even hurt.
She's way more vulnerable though.
It
She
might
has
even-
no armor.
Yeah, I mean, like, she's not armored at all.
She's relying solely on her ability to dodge and mitigate damage that way. And I think that
Now, how
if they're-
Batman gets all that shit on him so quick is kind of. But I guess
we
they-
have to give it.
I
to
guess
him.
you have to have.
Yeah.
That's just a contrivance of Batman. You got to accept
yeah.
that.
I mean,
Same thing with Spider-Man. Like, you know, he's out in the city. Boom, he's got his.
He's got a suit on.
Yeah, he's got a suit.
he evades her for long enough to duck, you know, out back
Yeah.
and grab his bat suit.
I think the
or whatever
environment, the
fuck.
setting, the totality of it. I think you have to give the slight edge, but I think you have to give it to Batman simply because of the suit.
Man, I wanted Batman out of this.
I mean,
Look, I mean,
I don't
he was
blame you.
champion last time for a reason. He's really tough to fucking beat.
I mean, the Bride. Yeah, I mean, the Bride is a great fighter,
But, you know-
yeah, with that one thing being the suit is the edge, and yet when you have to do that things with when a push comes to shove, you really have to go with that.
She'll have another chance.
but remember, the bride's not out of it yet.
no, she's
Down here. She's gonna be fighting the
and if-
Mandalorian.
and if,
Jesus.
and if Iron Man makes it, or I mean, Shang Tsung, those are both worthy opponents for Batman. They could take Batman.
Absolutely.
So
So the next fight, Shang Tsung versus Iron Man. Now this is a fucking hell of a fight.
This is a crazy fight,
Yeah.
and it's really role dependent too.
yeah, we have to
I
see
mean,
what the roles
they
are.
pretty much all have been.
So where will the
far.
fight take place?
So let's get rid of the crowd at McDonald's because it's not taking place there because we've already done that. A maternity ward.
Holy
wow.
shit!
So that's this one could go real dark, especially with Shang Tsung involved.
Yes.
So let's do a dice roll for
So,
who goes first?
Who's first?
Shang Tsung.
Shang Tsung.
All right, let's see what Shang Tsung's got.
What you got, buddy?
10.
So not aware.
Unprepared.
Unprepared, as they all have been, because for some reason these dice are only rolling even today. But no handicap. So what about Iron Man?
Oh, he knows.
Now, he knows, and this means there's a twist.
yeah, it's a 13, so
Because
there's a plot twist.
13 means there is a plot twist here. So let's go see. Iron Man knows that he's fighting Shang Tsung, apparently.
Right.
A huge advantage to
And
him.
let's see what the twist is going to be. I'm going to get rid of the. If we only on both fighters get portal guns.
Oh,
Oh
Jesus.
shit, man!
That's pretty crazy. That's pretty fucking insane.
I know, right?
Okay.
Well, I mean, first off,
So, portal gun battle
In a maternity ward.
in a maternity ward between Shang Tsung and Iron Man, where Iron Man has had planning and Shang Tsung is caught unawares.
okay, dude. I mean, this could go quick, but in my mind, if Iron Man has the portal gun, I mean, if he can experiment enough and understand, maybe he can send fucking Shang Tsung to some dimension where he'll just be stuck or dead.
Well, I'm assuming when I say portal gun, I'm thinking not necessarily
From
like a
the
Rick
video
and
game.
Morty portal gun. I'm talking about from like Portal.
oh, from Portal. Oh,
so you can make a hole in
Got
the
you,
wall.
got
and
you.
Right,
can
so you
link
could-
the portals.
Yeah, you can link two portals. So basically, like, it'd be a way for him to move from one place in the room to another without
Well,
necessarily.
couldn't Iron Man just shoot one on like the floor and then have one outside of the building?
Yes.
Yeah, he could.
So he could easily. So Iron Man's first priority, obviously, is going to be like get Shang Tsung out of this maternity ward before he kills these babies.
Of course.
Because Shang Tsung is going to have absolutely
Zero problem.
no problem killing babies.
Right.
Not at
So
all.
Iron Man's first priority in this fight is going to be get Shang Tsung away from these babies, but that means he's not devoting his energy to attacking Shang Tsung.
Right.
He's gonna use that portal gun to try to get Shang Tsung out of there.
And the portal gun is it's basically a teleporter, which doesn't really confer a whole lot of power to Shang Tsung because he's got a number of
I think
forms he can take.
Shang Tsung is just he's not even gonna understand the fucking thing. He's probably just gonna look at it and be like, I don't need
Meh.
this.
I don't really see him using it much. 'Cause
Right.
I think he can just already do that.
So he's not really gonna have much use for it. So I'm thinking Iron Man is gonna try to get Shang Tsung out of that maternity ward. What strategy is he gonna use, and is it gonna be successful?
I mean, because Shang Tsung is caught with his pants down, we have to basically give,
Iron Man
first-
has to have the first blow.
Yeah, he has
And
a,
he's
he has a plan.
prepared.
Yeah, he has a plan.
He's got a portal gun. I think that just, zipping him out of the fucking maternity ward to the outside of the hospital complex is going to be Iron Man's first priority because he's also a good guy. He's definitely
Right.
like invested in saving every one of these babies.
He does
that's
not
in
want
there.
the babies to be murdered by an
or
ancient
the new
sorcerer.
mothers or the new fathers
Right.
or the doctors and nurses that are all going to be around.
So
I mean, there's-
Iron Man's first order of business is get this motherfucker out of the
So
hospital.
he's probably gonna
lickety-split.
he's gonna create a portal. He's gonna probably knock Shang Tsung through that portal using his rockets. Probably just like hit him quick, knock him out, and then maybe they're outside of the
right,
building.
zip
then.
him outside of the building.
So I'm assuming. I mean, the portal gun doesn't go that far. So we're going to assume that the battle is now outside of the hospital, probably kind of like in the parking lot area.
Yeah,
which doesn't completely protect the people within,
Right. But at least
especially from somebody as destructive as Shang Tsung. can be.
at least protects the babies, I guess, so that there's no. I was thinking that depending on how this one got down, I was thinking we might have some infanticide going on.
but with the fact that Iron Man gets the plan, he's gonna get Shang Tsung. I mean, he's capable enough to knock Shang Tsung out of the building.
Right.
right, so
But Shang Tsung is also going to realize that, Iron Man is trying to protect those babies. And like I said, he's got no fucking problem trying to
Well,
blow up part of that building.
he's probably not going to try to go back to the maternity ward, but I think he's going to realize like this guy is trying to protect the innocents, and there's going to be innocents in that parking lot. So Shang Tsung
hospitals are crawling with people.
right, and Shang Tsung is immediately going to start probably thinking of ways
hey,
he could target
but
civilians.
Here's the thing too. Tony Stark has advance notice. Maybe he communicates that to the hospital, which is evacuated.
Right, I'm going to assume he doesn't have that much advance notice because if he did, then he would just have a series of traps ready to.
Maybe they're trying to get the hospital cleared out or something. You could say.
Right.
They've been warned.
Yeah.
People,
Let's
people
say-
have hunkered down and
You know,
taken shelter.
we'll say
in
that there's
there.
been like a 5-minute warning or something.
Okay, fair enough.
And
You
know,
guys better fucking hunker down. Shang Tsung is coming.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
you
Shang
you don't know
fucking
who that
Tsung is here.
is.
Yeah,
all the better reason to hide.
You will.
Get the fuck out of Dodge quick. Yeah.
So what is Shang Tsung's? I mean, I'm assuming there's still some stragglers in the parking lot and stuff. There's
Okay.
probably still like maybe nurses trying to get people out. There's maybe people trying to run to their car to escape because they know something's going down.
So you think Shang Tsung's going to go after the innocent and then just try to lure?
I
him
think
to-
as soon as he realizes Iron Man has that weakness, it's the most sensible thing to do.
And Iron Man's tipping his hand right off the bat by
Right.
teleporting him out of the maternity ward.
He's like, this guy is trying to protect these people.
Plus, Iron Man's known for being cocky and talking, so he's probably going to say something, and like, get away from those babies or whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
you know
he's
what I
gonna,
mean?
something more clever, but
Right.
he's gonna have some kind of clever Tony Stark kind of
quip.
some quip that he's gonna deliver that's gonna tip his hand in terms of where his
Fight
priorities
somebody
are.
your own size or something
Yeah,
like that.
pick on someone your own size or so. Yeah, something like that. So it's in the parking lot. What happens then?
Well, we know Iron Man's got his Iron Man suit. He's got everything. Anything in his arsenal he has.
Now, when it comes to fighting Shang Tsung,
Shang Tsung has so
That's-
many forms that
not only that, but he fights people that are very much like Iron Man. I mean, he fights the Robo Ninjas, all of them have rocket boots. They can, they can fucking zip across the screen. They can shoot missiles just like Iron Man can. Laser beams.
He's not a stranger to fighting robots.
So it's not like his first go round with a dude in a powerful suit or a robot that's like that. You know what I mean? So Shang Tsung is not going to be as easily taken out by that type of stuff.
Well, Tony Stark will have something of a plan too, though, with Shang Tsung, because obviously he'll understand he has the ability to shapeshift and do that. So there is a possibility of having some mitigating factor to that, understanding that going into the fight. But it doesn't necessarily mean it's still not an issue.
Yeah, I don't know that he necessarily knows about his shape-shifting ability. I mean, he knows he's going to fight this guy. I mean, like we said 5 minutes, because, I mean, like, if you give Tony Stark too much advancement, he's just going to destroy anybody. So there's no.
Well, he at least, he can at least he'll at least have like a, he has a database or something. Maybe like he has some information on it.
Right.
Now, could Tony Stark mitigate some of the abilities of Shang Tsung by multiplying his own force? Because we know that he can animate those suits, and he's got a number of different suits. So Tony Stark, if he had the prep time, he could have used some of that prep time to call the rest of those fucking Iron Man
if
suits.
he's got a fleet of Iron Man suits on the way.
And he's got ones that are specialized, too. He's got the Hulkbuster suit, so if, Shang Tsung tries to turn into Goro, he's ready for that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because, I mean, Goro definitely is,
it doesn't make sense to me that Tony would not use that against an opponent of this power
And he's
level.
still susceptible to bodily harm. So, I mean, obviously, if so much shit's getting fired at Shang Tsung, he's going to take some damage.
Right, Shang Tsung can get beat down. He can get knocked out. He can have his head pulled off. He's mortal.
Tony's arsenal is just so fucking insane. It's kind of hard to really, I mean, like the stuff we've seen him do and take on, I mean, it's just really hard to fucking say.
I feel like this one came down to roles again, because I think if Iron Man is caught flat-footed out of his suit, which we have to say he
Tony
is.
Stark is not that tough.
Tony Stark is not walking around in the Iron Man suit.
But if he has time to get in that suit,
but he's
and prepare,
already in the suit, and he can call in the fucking cavalry. He can have the other suit show up and help him. I just don't think Shang Tsung is going to be able to overcome the tidal
Shang Tsung is just
wave.
going to be pretty overwhelmed.
Iron Man
quick.
can just bring to bear such overwhelming force, and if he has prep time, there's just no way Shang Tsung is going to be able to mitigate those factors, even with the ability to shapeshift and everything
I think
else.
he's just going to juggle him, honestly. I just don't think that there's any fucking way to take him on.
I mean, there's just too many, Shang Tsung is only one guy, and he can turn into a number of guys, but he's still limited to that one form while he's in it. So,
I mean, if you're fighting 5 suits, I mean, what the fuck are you going to do?
I mean, there are definitely things he could turn into that are better at fighting against some of the suits, but the fact of the matter is that tactically, I think that Tony Stark just has a better chance because of the ability.
Way superior.
The ability to prepare for this, I think, really decided
We're going to
it.
have Iron Man, Batman next round.
Oh, God.
That's going to be a tough one. I mean, that's one that's really going to come down to roles.
Yeah.
Because those guys you talk about two people with a similar origin story. I mean, holy shit.
You have Shang Tsung and the
All
Joker.
Right, so Shang Tsung is gonna get a chance to redeem himself in a battle against the Joker, which I really think is gonna be hard for the Joker to win this one. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
But
hey, maybe it's a favorable role.
Maybe the Joker is gonna get really lucky with his role
maybe
here.
there'll be some weird circumstances or something.
So.
Where are they going to fight?
A muddy football field does not bode well for the Joker.
Yeah,
no.
No, God.
I mean, that sounds like a place where Mortal Kombat takes place.
Yes. It also sounds like a place where the Joker is going to be significantly slowed down.
I mean, unless the Joker has time to prepare, I mean, it's not looking good for the Joker.
So let's do the dice roll for Shang Tsung here.
Shang Tsung is not prepared.
Unprepared, but unhindered.
Shang Tsung's unprepared,
but
no. So let's see about the Joker.
Is prepared.
Prepared but hindered.
The Joker is prepared, but he's also going to have a handicap
shit.
on top of the environment being a serious handicap.
Hopefully he's drunk, dude.
We already did that.
No, come on.
Just saw TJ naked, temporarily blinded.
It's over.
30 seconds.
Okay, so we have to assume that they meet in a muddy football field. They're just going to fight for whatever reason. TJ's in the stands, naked.
Woo!
Or TJ's like robed. Like, the Joker looks like, what is that fucking buffoon doing? And TJ's like, look at this, Mr. J. Just whipping his little
Joker fucking, I'm blind!
TJ's
But the Joker has had time to prepare, so what did he prepare for Shang Tsung?
I mean, what would the Joker prepare? He'd prepare some traps and shit, right?
Yeah.
But if he's blind for the first 30 seconds of this fight, that kind of mitigates any traps.
Hey, there's just no way.
I mean,
it's not even really worth discussion. I mean, in a muddy football field where the Joker's nimbleness of foot is not even a factor, and he's blinded for the first 30 seconds. I mean, Shang Tsung's just gonna walk up as Goro and rip the Joker fucking limb from limb. It's not even gonna be a fight.
Shang Tsung can just, I mean, he's just like he's any number of horrible, muscly, crazy people at any second. He can fly across the screen. He can shoot fireballs, guns. He can leap across the screen. He can be a giant behemoth or a little ninja. He can, you know what I mean? There's just too much utility for the hampering that even with pre-preparation, the blindness fucked him.
Yeah, and there's just no way.
He got
fucked by the environment and he got fucked by the handicap.
There's no way Shang Tsung is going to get taken down by 1 or 2 Joker traps by themselves. You know what I mean?
Nope. So, unfortunately, I'm just going to keep the muddy football field in rotation because it really didn't get explored too much.
No.
So let's see what our next fight is going to take place on. The Sinking Titanic. And this is going to be between the Bride and the Mandalorian.
Wow.
So the Titanic is sinking. They're going to fight. Let's see what the Bride rolls.
Double sixes and unprepared. So
she's
hindered
unprepared.
and unprepared.
She doesn't even know the Titanic's going to sink.
We already got that one.
She starts the fight off trying to reason with the opponent. I mean, I could just go till I get a new one. She already got that one earlier. Wow, I was just going to go the same one. Hobbling leg injury.
Oh, man, we should have just stayed with the first one. She's already fucked in this fight.
Yep. Well, I don't know. Let's see what the other guy rolls.
Yeah, I guess so.
Sinking Titanic.
Maybe he'll get a 666 or some shit.
So the Mandalorian, what's his deal?
That fucks them both, though. Triple ones.
Oh, that means when we get a double match, that means he gets the element of a surprise.
So he gets the first attack off.
And
she's hobbled by a leg injury, and they're on the sinking Titanic.
Okay, I mean, all right.
Sorry, Bride.
So the Mandalorian, she's basically a sitting duck. The Mandalorian blows her away.
Yeah.
Flies off.
Yeah. I mean, it's just not even.
It doesn't make any sense at all. I can't.
I mean, he could probably use his ship just to kill her from the fucking.
There's no argument.
You know what I mean, yeah. Sorry, Bride. There's just you have no chance.
You just lost to the rolls.
Wow,
Bride.
a couple of fucking just really
Routes.
quick battles there.
I mean, it just shows you the power of the rolls in these.
It is. I mean, hey, it's just the luck of the fucking draw.
Semifinals now.
So we're in the semifinals.
And we got a fucking tournament. Like, this is a champion battle here.
Now, this is
crazy.
a battle. Now, no matter what the rolls are here, this is going to be a fight.
Right.
There ain't no way this ain't going to be a fight. So let's see what the fuck happens here. So let's get rid of the Sinking Titanic. And I guess let's get rid of the muddy football field, too, since we already kind of did it. Did I already get rid of it?
No.
Here it is. Okay. So let's see where this is going to take place.
All right.
A Motel 6 parking lot.
Good place for a fight.
Yeah, I mean,
A place for many
I've definitely
fights.
seen a fight there.
Yeah, so that's a great choice.
So the first one we're going to be rolling for is Batman. Let's see how Batman do.
Oh, he knows it's coming.
Batman has got time to prepare.
Oh, shit.
He doesn't have a handicap, but he has time to prepare.
That's not someone you want to have time to prepare.
How about Iron Man?
Iron Man has also had time to prepare, but he has a hindrance.
But he has a hindrance.
Okay, this is a hell of a fight now.
Let's see what Iron Man's hindrance is going to be. Let me just get rid of the ones that have been used before real quick because we don't want to repeat shit.
Yeah, dealing
we
with
can just
depression.
re-roll.
All right. Fair enough. Is just having an off day.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's not out of Tony Stark's wheelhouse. He's a moody guy.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
he's just not he's not at his best.
Right. He's having a bad day. Day
So-
started off bad. Pepper was fucking griping his ass in the morning.
Motel 6 parking lot. They both know
Damn, they know
what they both have had time to plan.
Here's what happened. Batman, as Bruce Wayne, used his money and seductive powers to fuck Pepper Potts.
In the ass.
And then Iron Man found out about it, got in a big fight with Pepper Potts, and she kicked him out, and he had to go stay in a Motel 6 because she cut up his black card.
Yeah.
In vengeance. So Tony Stark is totally unaware in a Motel 6.
Well, he's aware.
no, they're both aware.
Both aware.
Oh, they're both aware.
Yes. So maybe Batman. Maybe he calls
Well, yeah,
up
because
Batman.
he knows it was Batman that fucked
maybe
Pepper Potts.
Batman's doing like surveillance on someone, so he's at a Motel 6, and Tony Stark's like, you know what? I'm gonna fuck this guy up. Let's fight.
Yeah. No, I think he just calls him up. Is like, come down to the fucking Motel 6, bitch.
That's
there you
where I'm
go.
staying, bitch.
I mean, they're both kind of similar, goody good kind of characters in that sense. So I don't think either of them are out
right.
to like kill each other, but they're out for a fucking brawl.
Yeah, these guys are brawling over that Pepper Potts booty.
Yep.
So
Iron Man knows Batman done fuck Pepper Potts.
These two, the two billionaire geniuses are
Set to
getting
do
pretty
battle.
having a pretty trashy battle here.
Yeah.
Hey, dude.
Bring them down to our level.
Nobody's
here.
above it. Nobody's above
Yeah,
it.
there's some Jerry Springer
Hey
shit.
man, you throw a woman in the mix between two billionaires, man, it gets
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
I mean,
So-
if you fucked Pepper Potts and he walked in on it, he'd be similarly stymied. You
So
know what
both
I mean?
of these guys, these are both guys you do not want to give time to prepare for a fight.
right.
Because Batman has taken out Superman with time to prepare on a few occasions. Actually,
So Batman's study whatever he believes to be Tony Stark's weaknesses, and
So
I'm sure
Batman,
vice versa.
yeah, Batman is coming with all his tech and shit, and Tony Stark is coming with all his tech and shit. So these guys, two billionaires with genius level IQs, coming at it with every fucking crazy piece of technology
if
they've ever developed. This is like a dream fucking
Dude,
battle here.
This is a fucking chess match, dude. This is like any factor is going to be already probably going to have a contingency and plan for. I mean, it's just who has the greater technology to bring to bear. I mean, who has the better strategy.
It simplifies
Can
it
be
for
brought to
us
bear?
a little bit because both of these guys are going to be in their suits at the top of
Yes.
this battle.
and
Yep.
Batman is probably not going to just come with his normal bat suit. He's probably going to come with the fucking
The
big-
Batwing. He's going to
Yeah,
come
he's-
in the jet.
Well, he's going to come in. I mean, he's going to come in that fucking crazy mechanic, like machine. Like he's going to fucking be wearing more of like an Iron Man kind of thing,
Right.
Yes.
like he did to fight Superman. Because obviously he's going to consider Tony
gonna
Stark
prep.
on the level of like a Superman-esque kind of character.
And-
he's going to be bringing his serious
Yeah,
battle
he-
armor suit.
He's not underestimating Tony Stark. No.
He's going to be bringing all of his gadgets.
Right.
So is Tony. They're both going to be bringing like a fucking arsenal. It's going to be a fucking war zone in this fucking parking lot.
yes. This Motel 6 is going to be demolished.
So what you're saying
Or-
is a normal Motel 6 parking lot.
Yes.
Yes.
Got it.
But a little bit fucking.
But I will
crazier
say
than
this:
normal.
I think they're both going to want to protect innocent life. So I don't see the Motel 6 sadly getting demolished. I don't see.
But
them
if it is a
going-
Motel 6, rednecks are going to be involved at some point.
Well,
Rednecks
yes.
are going to come out of their fucking shit to Google this
Damn.
fight. And these are both guys that are going to want to protect those rednecks because they're technically innocent.
God damn, boy.
Come out here, Margaret.
so that's something we have to keep in mind.
Our man Batman having a fist fight in the fucking parking lot. I shit you not, man.
DC versus Marvel, dude.
Yeah, Marvel versus DC. Who owns Pepper Potts' sweet ass? That's the real question here. All right, so let's just get into it.
They fucked each other's girls.
Yeah, you know.
Iron Man, Batman fucked Pepper Potts, so Iron Man went and fucked Selena Kyle.
Yeah, dude.
And he's just like, come on, man, I fucked your bitch. No, I fucked your bitch. Take a battering. Fuck you, take a pulse laser. You know what I mean? These guys are, wow.
Does this end up as like almost like the bitch boy slap bite thing? I mean, what ends up happening with this, man? Like, does everything just get neutralized? And I mean, I don't know.
Why are you being mean to me? Because you fucked Pepper Potts. Why are you being mean to me? Because you fucked Selena Kyle, man. This is my girl.
Jerry.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like we're getting
Springer
Jerry
episode.
Springer, dude. I do feel like we're gonna have. I mean, the scenario we've concocted so far.
I mean, that does mean that their prep is going to take a different, because they're not going to be as tactical. They're
Right.
going to want to beat the fuck out of each other.
I mean,
yeah,
like,
that's how I feel. I feel it's
maybe-
gonna be a knockdown.
do you feel
drag
like maybe
down
these
fight.
guys have like come to each other and been like, like since neither of these guys wants to kill innocent
Yeah.
people. It's really weird that they would choose a Motel 6 parking lot as their venue, but that's just
Hey,
the contrivance of the fucking roles. So are they going to maybe kind of do more of a stripped down battle where it's like, hey, let's just fucking have it out?
I think they bring
Mano
everything-
a mano.
I think
you
they
know?
bring everything to bear, but yeah, I kind of agree with you. I think it ends up being like I'm going to champion this shit. Like I want, like, let's fight. Because I mean, like, look, they're both billionaires. They both have access to this stuff. They
Fuck
both,
all these rockets and bullshit.
yeah, like they're like, you know what? Let's have this fucking almost like this duel.
They're going to be
let's settle
talking shit
this.
to each other like the whole time, too.
oh, yeah.
Like, they're going to be trying to zing each other about fucking each other's girls, too. I put some salt in Pepper's pot. Yeah. Well, I slayed that pussy.
She said she never even realized a dick could go that deep.
I gave Selena Kyle some milk to lap up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. So and I'm sure that fucking Iron Man would figure out Bruce Wayne. He's Bruce Wayne. And
Yeah,
shit
they
too, so.
figured all that shit out.
So they know.
He's
He'd
no
be
dumb
talking.
dumb.
He'd be talking some mad shit about his parents and shit too.
Yeah.
Oh, they were talking shit about their companies, dude.
Didn't both their parents die in a horrible crime, though?
I don't think Iron Man.
no, I think Iron Man's mom was murdered. His
I
dad
thought his
get
whole
murdered
family
too?
was murdered.
I don't think so.
No, his mom got murdered, but his dad, I think, just died of like old age or whatever.
Let me see. I'll look it up.
I don't remember.
I'll find out if Iron Man.
I could be wrong on that, but they'd be playing the psychological card against each other,
Oh, for sure.
talking shit about each other's
Right.
past tragedies, talking shit about each other's
I
companies.
mean,
Like
this is more like two peers fighting. You know,
your stock is
yeah.
down. Wayne Enterprises is a fucking shit company. You know.
Yeah, how about that third quarter, Tony? You know, it's be some shit like that. It's gonna be going on. No, I almost see this as like kind of like a romanticized duel, dude. Just two superheroes who don't want to kill each other, but want to beat the shit out of each other. They want to have that superiority. You know what I mean? Like whoever wins this is like teabagging the other one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because like they're both trying to. I mean, they're both so similar in terms of their backstory, where it's
Right.
like, I'm a fucking billionaire, you're a billionaire.
I couldn't
you're-
find anything definitive about Howard Stark's
It's-
death.
I'm a genius, you're a genius. You have all this crazy tech, I have all this crazy tech.
I mean, it's just one of those competitive battles where it's like, you know, it's just these two guys that are so similar and they're so evenly matched in some respects, and
They're
just
both
want,
playboys,
and they both want that dominance. So
Right.
it's just like who has the bigger swinging fucking dick in the room. I mean, I don't know, man. That's
both of them have taken on opponents way out of their league and come out on top.
I mean, there's really no advantage here that I can see other than one.
what's that?
The quality of Tony Stark's gadgetry and the destructive potential of it is way more than Batman's, typically. Tony Stark is carrying a weapon that can clear a city block with him, usually. That fucking chest beam takes out tanks and shit.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas Batman doesn't really. Batman's more about cleaning up the neighborhood. So.
Yeah, and he's got and he's got guile too. It's more about like this disables this or this causes a flash of light so that I can zip around.
I
you
mean,
know?
the grit element that you kind of have to almost give to Batman. I mean, Tony Stark definitely has the gadgetry, but if it becomes a fucking just a slobber knocker, dude, if people are just fighting it out, I mean,
Tony
know.
Stark can
He can fight. He can fight.
We got to keep this in mind too. He can legitimately fly in any direction super fast.
That is true.
Right.
And Batman cannot. In fact, Batman, without the aid of his Batwing aircraft or whatever, could basically just be nuked from orbit by Iron Man.
But we're assuming
Iron Man can go into fucking space and fire missiles
Yeah.
that hit the ground.
But
You know what I mean? And
we're
Batman
assuming-
really
But we're
can't
assuming
do that.
neither of these guys are
Yeah,
wanting to.
I don't think Iron Man's going to do
Neither of these
that.
guys are trying to kill each other.
Yeah.
Both of them have like ethics against it,
and some
and
begrudging
there's civilians
respect.
around as well.
I think
so.
some begrudging respect as well. So, I don't think Iron Man's going to do that. But I mean,
But I mean, like, look, Batman.
the technology is definitely an advantage. for Iron
Batman,
Man.
when he has time to prepare, was able to put something together to beat Superman. Which I mean, like, Superman is fucking way more powerful than.
Well, there's
fucking
a
Iron
reason
Man.
why we don't put him on these lists.
Right. We don't put Superman on these lists because he would
and,
just fuck
and
everybody
Superman
up.
has one obvious. Well, on this list, he could conceivably lose
Because I mean, as long as someone's got kryptonite,
yeah.
I guess.
So it's like if someone is totally prepared, like let's say Batman can get access to kryptonite,
but
and then
Tony
win.
Stark doesn't have some Deus Ex Machina of like, this is the one thing I'm weak against. So
True.
Right. I mean, if anything, his one weakness is his own cockiness and shit, which, of course, Batman, if he's prepared for this, he's going to exploit.
look, Batman is definitely a little bit better at playing with the psychological cards than Tony Stark.
Well,
is.
but
Tony Stark is more
he's-
about getting under his opponent's skin by being an irritant, whereas
Right.
Batman can actually kind of like really get into your head on an almost Hannibal Lecter kind of level.
But Batman, he's also weak to it, too, though. He has this horrible, tragic past that's
right,
been used
which
against him
Iron Man
any
is
number
definitely
of
going to know
times.
about because he's just too smart.
I mean,
to
yet
not know.
yet again, that just the advantages are negated. So I mean, like,
I
I
mean,
mean, when it comes to just a raw arsenal of weapons of destruction, Iron Man's
Man.
definitely got fucking Batman beat because Batman's not going to war zones and trying to blow shit up, whereas Tony Stark is doing that.
that's
He's
what
like,
the suit's designed to do.
right. It's a weapon of war, whereas Batman's more about like peacekeeping.
Right. Vigilante justice.
Right.
One-on-one vigilante
Now, Batman
style.
has shown that when he gets put in that situation of like we're at war, he can fucking adapt to that and do the fucking crazy.
But he's not
arsenal,
gonna have a kryptonite
and I mean,
suit.
and if Batman hits Tony Stark and his Iron Man, how much damage is it really going to do?
I mean, I guess if he's in the suit that he fought Superman.
Well, that's what
Well,
I'm,
yeah, I
I'm,
guess
I'm
that's
saying.
true.
He's definitely going to show up in that fucking suit. He's not
Okay.
going to show up in just the normal bat
Well,
suit
then, yeah,
for this kind of threat.
Well, then he can do some significant damage to
so
him.
he's going to be able to fucking punch. I mean, if his punch can hurt Superman, it can definitely hurt Iron
But
Man.
he can't fly in that suit, can he?
He cannot. I don't think he can fly.
I mean, so then he's almost kind of a sitting duck at some points.
I think he can. I think it has like a jumping range. But I'll tell you another thing about that suit is if you go from the logic of the Batman versus Superman movie, it's a slow suit. It's
Right.
not fast like the Iron Man suit. It's not. It doesn't quite make him as slow as RoboCop, but he's certainly not fucking fast
well,
like
then
Iron Man.
honestly, if he has the speed advantage, then it's gonna have to be Iron Man ultimately because look, I mean,
Well, here's another thing you got to factor in.
in any battle,
Yeah.
in any battle, if you have like, let's say you have a huge advantage like speed, like if you can bring that force to bear and Batman can't react quickly enough, even if he is a better fighter, I mean that's going to negate it. Let's say honestly,
Let's think about
or
this.
if the
though.
suit gets taken out then as well.
Right. I'll tell you this though. There's another thing about Batman you got to fucking factor into this fight. Is there was a plot line where Batman got kicked out of the Justice League because some supervillain had stolen Batman's secret plans on how to defeat every single member of the Justice League.
Sure.
And they were all defeated by it. So Batman, I think even though Tony Stark has the better arsenal, I think Batman is the better tactician. I think he has a fucking serious. I think he has a strategy to take out pretty much any opponent. And if you give him time, he's gonna come to Iron Man with a fucking
Well, how much time are we giving them?
serious fucking plan
Because
to beat his ass.
before you said 5 minutes.
Well, I was saying that with the fight between Shang Tsung and Iron Man.
These guys are both
these
that
guys-
way, though.
these
If
guys-
given enough prep time before
Yeah.
this fight,
Iron Man's gonna have
gonna-
a plan as well.
and not only that, but
I
it's
just
gonna,
think Batman's gonna have a better plan.
what it lacks in cunning, it's going to make up for in brute
Power.
force.
So I think that if you just look at I think if you look at their technology, I think Iron Man's got the tougher technology, but I think Batman has the superior tactics. So I don't know how that fucking plays out.
So you're saying almost you feel by virtue of the tactics that, Iron Man would have is a brilliant tactician, but Batman's just gonna have that slight edge there where he's gonna have the better plan, and then ultimately.
And I think that Iron Man 2 is just gonna. I think he's gonna be more limited because his technology is so destructive. He's not gonna want to use it in a fight against a fellow hero, even if he hates his guts, in a fucking Motel 6 parking lot where there's pedestrians.
But I mean, that's
everywhere.
something he's had to contend with in pretty much every fight that he's had.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And
But usually
especially the big city
some
fights.
world-ending threat where he doesn't have to feel bad about killing the other person.
Right. Batman's not going to
Whereas neither of these guys are going to kill. Neither of these
Or
guys are
would
going to
he?
kill each other.
Would he use his superior tactics to go against his morals, to put in danger the fucking...
I don't think so.
no, I don't.
I mean, I don't see either of these characters taking that dark of a turn. But.
So do we agree that they're? I mean, well then, kind of like I think we're kind of back to where we started. Like, is this gonna be like kind of like a duel? They're just gonna meet in the fucking parking lot and just have it out, and it's gonna become a fist fight.
I almost feel like we're at a stalemate and should roll a plot twist and see
Yeah.
if that gives
All
somebody
right.
an edge.
That's a fair enough.
Yeah, that's a
I'll,
good
I'll
idea.
accept that mechanic.
I mean,
Let's
'cause at
see
this
if we
point-
can get an edge with a plot twist. Time is frozen around them.
Okay.
Oh shit!
Plot twist. That changes the dynamic of Tony Stark using these destructive weapons and shit.
Yeah.
He can be more. He can be more free with it because it's not really happening. Time is frozen, and when it resumes, whatever happened while time was frozen isn't going to happen. As I understand it, or am I thinking about that wrong?
Well, everything on this frozen, then he can't bring any of those other weapons to bear.
Then it would just be a fist fight between
yeah.
them.
That's what I'm saying. It's gonna come down to who's gonna win, and it's gonna be so.
I'm going to assume that objects that they. I mean, like for the for
well,
those
I can still manipulate objects, but he's not gonna be able to call in an airstrike.
yeah,
or
there's not going to
whatever.
be there's not going to be any ability to call in an airstrike. Then I'm assuming that objects they directly manipulate will still do something. Like I'm assuming they could still. Iron Man could still maneuver his suit. His
Yeah,
suit's not
of
going to be
course.
trapped in time.
And the same for Batman.
If he fires a missile, I'm going to assume the missile's still going to come. But he's not going to be able to summon a suit from elsewhere. It has to be something. I would imagine the only thing that's going to happen is actions that they directly take.
So it basically it turned this into a fist fight then, basically, or a much
Or
more
a much more limited fight.
right.
But Iron Man still has that ability to fly.
He can still fly, and there's I
and
don't
Batman,
see why he wouldn't
I don't
be
think
able to.
Batman's going to be able to use his jet.
Right.
You know,
no.
Right.
because the jet that's too much of an external thing. The engine's not going to start and all that stuff. I mean, I think that Iron Man's suit is part of his body, so I think he retains the ability to flight. But I think the jet is too separate to say that that's still active and working.
I agree.
And I mean, even if you just the booster ability, if he just goes quickly enough at Batman, even if Batman is able to dodge or whatever, he's gonna have the advantage of swooping in and attacking him.
Now they're still not going to be able to do some major explosion shit because they're not. I mean,
well, just hitting him with the suit at that speed. I mean, Iron Man can go super fast.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Iron Man's a faster guy. Batman's probably a better pound for pound fighter, but how likely is it that they're going to get in a slugging match?
What about the what about the stamina factor here? Because as far as I understand it, Batman is still in control of everything he does. He's in like muscle control of that suit.
Right.
Whereas Iron Man, most of that is like servos doing that shit for him.
Yeah.
So in a protracted long battle, Tony Stark is probably going to get tired a lot less quickly than Batman, and it might open Batman up to the tactic of Tony just constantly throwing things at him that he has to dodge.
You know, I think we have to remember, too, that if we're going to go by the canon of Civil War, you know, Captain America, who's probably around on about the same level as Batman in terms of his physicality, was able to go to
even more. He's like a augmented suit. He's like a Batman,
right?
But
I mean,
with
like
superpowers.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really look at Batman's skill set, he's not really limited to what a
No, I mean, I think
it'd
it'd be a good fight, but
so I mean, I think
Batman's still mortal.
But Captain America also has that fucking shield, dude.
Yeah.
And that shield can do a lot. I mean, that's a lot of blocking ability. Like, Iron Man
he's
can't
able to
just-
block a lot of laser.
Well, if
blasts
Iron
and
Man just
stuff.
tries to rush him, he can get behind that shield, and that's suddenly
But
going to block
I mean,
that.
Batman probably has something like that. I mean, he's a fucking billionaire with nearly infinite resources.
I mean,
so
I guess you could argue that
you got to assume he's going to have stuff on him that's going to be able to
Similar,
deal
at
with some
least,
of the
yeah.
fucking stuff.
Oh,
that
sure,
Iron Man's gonna throw at him.
of course. I mean, he's going to be able to have some
I feel like-
mitigating factors.
I feel like without the time freezing stuff, I would give the slight edge to Batman, but I feel like with the time freeze,
Yeah.
and just realizing that Iron Man is still going to have a lot of these. It doesn't really limit Iron Man as much as it limits Batman. So I'm kind of thinking that Iron Man's going to win this.
I mean, yeah, I think if Iron Man had some just clear and obvious, like, if you do this or disable this, and, like, obviously you can maybe argue that his heart, but I don't think Batman's going for the kills. I don't think that Batman's going to exploit that necessarily.
Now, if both these, if
And he's changed that in the suit, too, in the
Yeah.
canon. Like,
Yeah.
the heart is not exposed in the way it was before.
Oh, okay,
He's
right.
got
Then-
multiples of them.
Oh, well, then that's a totally different factor as well. Then.
so, I don't know. This has probably been the toughest one for me to decide. But I think
It really did come down to that
I think with
time
that,
freeze,
I think with that time freeze and the fact that Iron Man has this ability to fly around, and I'm going to assume that neither of them knew time was going to freeze. Then,
Well, and the fact
Or
that
maybe
both
they did, I don't
and
know.
the fact that both come prepared to the fight. Like, let's say Iron Man wasn't prepared and Batman was, then hey, that's totally different.
oh, if either one of these had rolled unprepared, then the prepared one would have won.
Right.
Because these are both just guys who are going to prepare shit down to the gnat's
ended
ass.
up being way crazier than that, though.
I think that it's a really tough one to call, but with that twist,
Well, how do you
I'm
think?
gonna-
Well, how do you think Iron Man wins it though? That's my big thing with it. I think with this one, how does Iron Man actually beat?
I
Batman?
I think it's the stamina thing.
I think it just
He
comes.
just wears him down.
Yeah.
I don't know. Batman's got pretty crazy stamina. I think that
He still gets tired, though. He's still
Yeah.
a human being. Like, he's not. That's my thing, is like Tony Stark's armor makes him a superhuman.
yes,
Batman's big thing is that he's not a superhuman. He's a human being under there, albeit a
Right,
very
but he's
heavily trained
he's basically reached like some hypothetical pinnacle of humanity that
it's-
no one has
So
ever
it's
reached.
basically they fight toe to toe for for a long time, but eventually just the battle just wears Batman down enough. For,
I think Iron Man has the quickness advantage here.
Yeah.
He's
See,
able to zoom in from different angles that Batman isn't, which means to me that even if he's not landing them, even if Batman's just too fast or too wily to get caught by it, he's going to have to expend energy. And with time frozen, Iron Man's basically got as much time as he needs to slowly but surely drain Batman of his power.
See, I don't see it being as much about exhaustion. I think it's just kind of like it would be more about a series of exchanges where, Iron Man just kind of picks Batman apart slowly. I think I think it's
I
more
mean, it's
about,
basically the same thing.
I think it's less about exhausting him as it is just inflicting a little injury here, a little injury there that just adds up to.
Death of 1,000 cuts.
Yeah, I think it would be a death of 1,000 cut scenario. I really do, and I just think that Iron Man is a little bit more impervious than Batman. His suit's more agile. I just think he's gonna fucking I think that it's gonna be a tough fight, but I think ultimately Iron Man just comes out with it.
Yeah,
All right.
I agree.
Well, fair enough.
To the losers bracket with you, Batman.
We might get a rematch though. So Shang Tsung versus the Mandalorian. Really surprised Shang Tsung has made it this far. Honestly.
Really?
Yeah, kind of.
I'm not honestly. Shang Tsung's a badass motherfucker.
Shang Tsung
dude.
is super fucking powerful.
Yeah, you're right. Shrunken down inside
Oh,
Paul's body.
I'm
Oh my
glad we
God.
picked. Damn, doing Warren Paul's colon.
Okay. So who's first in this?
Shang Tsung.
Shang Tsung is. Okay. Shang Tsung's roll.
So is he prepared? He's
he
not.
is not prepared,
He's unprepared but unhindered.
but he is not hindered in any way.
Okay, prepared, but hindered.
Jeez, these
Prepared
rolls.
but hindered for who is the other one?
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian. Okay. So let's see what his hindrance is going to be. Dislocated shoulder.
Oh shit!
I mean, that's not good.
Yes. That's
You
right.
have to say it's his blaster shoulder.
Yeah.
So
I
he
mean,
can't.
yeah.
He's his blaster is less effective because he's offhanding it.
But he does get to prepare, so he doesn't know the fight is coming.
He's
So-
prepared, but he's hurt.
And they're shrunken down inside your body, Paul. Now, where are they going to be in Paul's body?
Yeah,
I
since it's
mean-
Paul's body, I'm going to let him choose.
Anywhere
what-
they go is going to be impeded by lard. Probably except for the inside of my asshole. They got to be in my colon. They got to be in my shit chute fighting it out.
Okay.
There you go.
So they're in what would be to them, they're shrunken down to the point where it's just a cavernous shit chute.
Yeah, so the smell's not
And I got to
great.
tell you, I got to take a dump a couple of times a day, so it's likely that they might have a shitty day. You know what I mean? I might have to move something through that
Oh,
system at
yeah.
some point during this fight.
The turd is coming. Shang Tsung not prepared. Mandalorian prepared but injured.
So I imagine at the edge of the colon, dude. Like they're kind of and like that turd's coming, dude. Paul fucking had Mexican for lunch.
Yep.
I mean, Paul's about to go to the bathroom. His bowels
It's
are.
time. I'm
What
about
is
to
the-
blow it
the-
up.
what is-
The bowels are rumbling too, like you know,
What is
like
the
you feel it.
consistency of the shit that's heading towards
Oh,
him?
diarrhea, dude.
Yeah, I mean, not like total water diarrhea,
Yeah, but like
that
chunks.
soft chunks. You know what I mean? Soft, dribbly.
Saucy, yeah.
Yeah.
So
you know
that
what I
might come
mean?
into play in the
Soupy.
battle. You know, like there might be like times they're dodging chunks. You know,
It's a
and shit.
soupy poopy that's coming at him, so it's gonna be. It's
Gotcha.
all
So there's
over.
there's a little bit of a time limit here as well.
Well, I mean, I don't know if they can overcome the poop, they can keep fighting. You know what I mean?
But the Mandalorian is coming to this battle. Obviously, I mean, he's got a dislocated shoulder. That fucks him up. He can plan, but he's fighting injured no matter what. So like,
Right. So if we're assuming it's his blaster shoulder, which I think we are, then he's shooting with an unfamiliar hand that's probably not as skilled. I don't know. It might be more difficult for him to have his jetpack going since that kind of rests on the shoulder blades.
Right.
So
And
you know,
Shang Tsung's not expecting to be in Paul's colon either.
No.
and he's going to be a lot more reluctant to make a lot of
the
these moves.
Mandalorian knew he was going into my colon.
He was fine with it. He's like, all
He
right,
planned for the colon.
Shang Tsung,
Shang
unaware.
Tsung is just going to appear in my colon
Yep,
with
like
no prior knowledge.
here you go.
Fight. Round one. Fight.
Now I want this to be a level of Mortal Kombat.
All right. So how far away is the shit torrent?
I mean, I don't know. It's coming.
It's coming. All
It'll
right.
happen when in the fight when I think it's time for it to happen. We got to get through it.
All right. So so the Mandalorian expected this, so he's obviously going to make the first attack on
Well,
the
how
confused.
long is he prepped in this one? Is it 5 minutes, TJ, or is it?
You know, I don't know. He's had a little bit of time. You know, maybe a fucking 20 minutes or something.
Has he had the time to set charges in Paul's colon and shit?
But he's got to know that that's going to provoke the shit.
Oh, that's true.
Because if I'm getting,
Yeah, I mean,
explosive bowel pain, I'm gonna run. I'm gonna run for the border. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
he probably knows at that point too that if he damages the colon, who knows what kind of weird bile and shit might come
Right,
flowing
blood. They might drown in blood if they rupture me too bad. You know what I mean?
through. Right. So he might be reluctant to use those charges, not knowing what kind of horrible, disgusting yellow pus and bile and blood and shit might come flying his way.
Shang Tsung though has no compunctions about hurting somebody.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily about hurting Paul. It's about do
What's
you
the
really want to
body's
be
response to that pain? And
do
what
you really want to be bathed in whatever horrible
Shitty blood?
thing comes on out the other side of that colon?
I mean, I think both of them
Yeah, I
are,
mean,
are not going to want to get caught in the torrent that I've got brewing up.
I mean,
shit
and
torrent.
obviously they're threatened with it. I mean, Paul is like I said throughout the fight. There's going to be rumbles. There's going to be false
I'm
alarms.
definitely as
Oh, what
they're
about-
fighting in there. I'm gonna go and because something's not right in the colon. I'm gonna go sit down and
Yeah, Paul's gonna make a
And
trip.
Paul's going to be fucking
the
farting
bathroom.
too. So they're going to be dealing with that, like noxious fumes. I mean, like they're going to be breathing in those farts.
Yeah, for sure. So, how does this? What's the opening? What's the opening move of this?
Well, the
chess match?
Mandalorian is expecting this, so he's obviously got some sort of trap prepared or some sort of ambush. Though he's got a dislocated shoulder, so maybe
he gets a couple of shots off on he's able to use his planning to use his off arm to get a couple of blaster shots to land on Shang Tsung or something.
And what kind of damage is that going to do to Shang Tsung?
I mean, Shang Tsung, if you
right,
look
let's
at
be
him
honest
fighting against similar weapons, he takes a lot of blaster shots
Hold on.
before
Now,
he falls
let me
over
make,
dead.
Let me just make a pitch here. So the Mandalorian knows that he's injured, so he's not really wanting to get into a scrap with this guy, who he especially is a fucking good fighter.
And he doesn't want
No.
to disturb the bowels and provoke
well,
a shit.
I'm wondering if he does want to disturb the bowels and use his jetpack to escape the asshole while leaving Shang Tsung to drown in a
man.
torrent of shit.
I mean, that he might have that plan, but I don't know that Shang Tsung is just going to stand there stupefied while a wall of shit comes at him. He's got some things he could probably do. You know what I mean?
What do you think he's going to do?
He can teleport.
Where's
He can turn into Sector and stay ahead of the shit and escape the asshole too. And then they're fighting in my butt cheeks.
All right, so let's just assume
The battle moves onto the butt cheeks.
I want to assume that happens because I think that'd be the plan.
But the shit is still coming.
The shit's still
The
coming.
butt cheeks are not
still spewing
safe.
out the ass.
So
But wait a minute,
they're
at that
fighting
point-
around a big wrinkly volcano of shit now.
Yeah, but at that point, if you're on the toilet by then, which I'm assuming you would run to the toilet
Right.
if you fucking had explosive diarrhea, your ass is gonna be down. So really, aren't they gonna fucking?
yeah, they're
they're
gonna
be in the
be
toilet.
fighting
Well-
upside down.
Yeah. So are they gonna be like? How are they doing that? I mean, I'm assuming the Mandalorian is using his jetpack. What is Shang Tsung doing to keep from spilling into the toilet bowl?
Maybe he turns into like Baraka or Katana, that one of the characters that has claws and just moves like an animal on the butt cheek. You know?
Okay, so
But, dude, but if Paul,
are you gonna notice that though?
Yeah, but
you
Paul
think?
might
Like-
feel that. So
Of course, I'm gonna
So
notice
Paul's
that.
gonna start going to wipe now. He's like, "What? Oh, it's gonna be like a dingleberry or something hanging off my ass."
I
you
might
know?
reach down there to see if there's a fire ant or
So-
a spider in
yeah,
the
Yeah, I
toilet.
mean, like Paul, if you're on the toilet and you're having a diuretic shit, and then all of a sudden the butt cheek nearby
I mean, it
starts
does
to
depend
feel
on how
stingy.
if they're small enough to be in my colon,
Right,
then
they're
I'm
not.
not gonna
they're
feel
super
it.
small. But you might feel a little itch or
Maybe
something.
a little itch.
Yeah, you feel an
I
itch.
might reach down with a finger to try and scratch it. Although if I'm in the middle of shitting, I'm
Yeah,
probably
you're probably
gonna
not
wait.
You're probably not gonna try to scratch.
Yeah,
near
that
your
seems like a
asshole.
dangerous
What-
proposition.
he might take a wipe or something. He's gonna try to wipe his butt. Like,
Well, we're assuming that the torrent of shit is still flowing.
Yeah,
at this
oh
point.
yeah.
Oh, it's still
not-
flowing.
It's a big one.
It's not time to wipe yet. The
I mean,
shit's
well,
coming.
Shang Tsung and the Mandalorian are definitely dodging shit still. They're like, well, Shang Tsung can still fly. He could assume the form of a character, I guess, that could fly. Maybe they could be exchanging, like light. Like he could take
Yeah.
over like Raiden. He
He
could
could be
shoot-
Raiden.
So can Raiden fly around like Superman can, or is
Yes.
he-
Yes.
Okay, so I'm assuming he's probably going to turn into Raiden then.
Yeah.
So Paul is probably going to look down and notice that there's like lightning coming out of his toilet.
Right.
And, even diarrhea or no, I think Paul might sit up if he starts to see lightning bolts flying around.
But it's minuscule though.
Right, it's tiny. This happened on a tiny little cellular scale.
Okay,
it's
so-
not going to be like lightning storms.
So you're not even going to, it's just maybe, but like, I don't know.
What they might be able to make me itch, or even if they really summon their power, do damage to me there that would provoke a response.
Probably feel like some static, dude. Like maybe Paul's like,
yeah,
some static.
and if I'm in
my-
the middle of shitting, a little static electricity is expected. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So obviously,
I don't-
Butt
normally-
cheeks flapping
I
together.
think if Shang Tsung is taking the form of Raiden and he's flying around with lightning abilities, he's probably going to try to take that jetpack out, right?
I mean, I assume that being covered in metal is not good if you can throw a lightning bolt at somebody. You know what I mean?
I don't know what Beskar's.
I don't know how conductive.
Yeah,
Beskar
I don't know the
is,
conductive properties of it.
but he's definitely got other
But
shit
that
on him.
jetpack seems vulnerable. So I mean, wouldn't Shang Tsung at that point, as Raiden, try to use his lightning to blast the jetpack and send the Mandalorian?
I mean, to be honest with you, Shang
plunging
Tsung,
into a fucking ocean of diuretic shit.
Shang Tsung has multiple options here. He doesn't just have to be Raiden.
No.
He could be Devora, the fucking bee wasp
Right, because
chick,
then he
Yeah.
can just
and
crawl.
spit acid at
Yeah.
the fucking thing, or summon a big bug to come rip it off of him, or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? So he's got once again, Shang Tsung's adaptability seems to play a role here. Because he could turn into something that could literally defy gravity by crawling along on the underside of my ass as the
Right.
shit is flowing. Mandalorian can't do that. He's really kind of limited to what is ultimately just kind of a hover pack. Yeah, he can swoop in, but in terms of being able to maneuver in the air, it's not like Tony Stark's level of control. You know what I mean? It's more of a jump pack.
I
than
mean,
anything.
based on the last episode of The Mandalorian, I'd say that he can maneuver it.
I mean,
Okay.
he can maneuver it, but I would say also, here's the thing.
Maybe not like kind of like on like a rocket.
I don't think it comes down to that. I think it comes down to the Mandalorian has his chance being injured. Like, hey, look, I can take him out quick, and the longer the fight goes on, the worse it gets for the Mandalorian. And I think if we've
I
gone
totally
this far,
agree. I think
Oh, go ahead.
I'm just saying. I think Shang Tsung is kind of like over prepared for a weird fight like this.
Yeah, so I mean, if we're not going to grant that takes him out, I think that Shang Tsung fucking disables his rocket pack at some point.
And sends the Mandalorian plunging into an ocean of Paul's shit.
Yeah, and then of course, Paul just keeps going and just fucking suffocates him, and he just
the
dies
Mandalorian
under a pile of shit.
buried in Paul's diarrhea and then flushed unceremoniously down the toilet.
Into a Louisiana sewer.
Yes. Shang Tsung wins again.
Oh.
So I think, what is winner of 13? What's 13? Oh. Is this 13? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
So it's time for another.
Who comes out of the losers bracket?
It's time to see who. It's time for a Batman versus Shang Tsung, who's going to go on to face Iron Man
In the finals.
So Batman could get another shot at Iron Man, or maybe Shang Tsung will emerge from the losers. Who beat him the first time?
Emerge from Paul's butt cheeks.
So this is going to be a rematch either way.
Yeah.
Right.
So both of these fighters were taken out by Iron Man, and both of them are looking for vengeance, but the only way to get it is first they got to go through each other.
Wow.
So where will they fight?
The old abandoned warehouse.
A great choice for this battle.
Pretty standard fucking battle area. So
Especially for Batman.
yeah.
He's definitely had a lot of villain hiding in the old abandoned warehouse.
So he'll be at home there, unless I guess he's unexpected.
So, who's first here? Batman. Let's see who Batman will. What
Prepared
Batman
or
rolls
not?
here.
Not prepared.
So Batman is not prepared,
and
And hindered.
and he is hindered by a
Your
handicap,
soul is mine.
holding back explosive
Wow.
diarrhea.
We come right back to
Your
it.
soul is mine.
It's getting very scatological here at the end.
It is.
Yes.
Poor Batman.
And that's an 8, which means there's going to be a twist.
Oh shit! A plot twist too.
Scotty is there as a referee.
Oh,
Yes.
God.
Awesome, dude.
Oh no.
So, what about Shang Tsung? What's he get?
He's prepared.
Prepared and unhindered. It's over. It's over. Shang Tsung wins.
But I am the referee, though.
Fatality.
So whatever, by the laws of the universe, I'm guess they're bound to obey me. At least in
Unless they want to take the metal chair to you and have an unsanctioned bout.
No, there's no point putting the mechanic in if I'm just knocked out immediately.
They could if they wanted to. You got to be
Well,
a fair and impartial fucking guy, because any fighter can punch the ref.
Well, no, I'm a referee, so it has to be in
you're
the
not
context.
like you're not like the god referee. You're there.
Actually, I pretty much only put Scotty in so that someone could grab him and use him as a weapon.
Okay, cool.
Exactly.
All right, fine. So I'm a toothless referee then. So I'm pretty much useless.
If you're fair with these guys, they'll respect you. Like
So-
that guy Mills Lane.
No, Shang Tsung immediately, as Goro, grabs Scotty by his ankles.
Rips me in half.
No, and starts to bludgeon Batman with him. And that's
Right.
the opening of the fight.
No, bullshit. I'm the referee. I have to call it. No, Goro always rips his victims in half, so he rips me in half and is beating him with both ends of me.
Okay.
Yeah. Wielding Scotty's body halves as clubs against Batman.
I'm glad that all the insults to us have found their way into the episode.
Yep.
The Joker lost because he saw me naked. We fought a battle in Paul's asshole, and now Scotty is ripped apart by Goro.
And
so.
Shang Tsung's expecting this fight too, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and
Shang
Batman is
Tsung is
not.
prepared.
He's prepped.
Batman has been lured here.
And Batman cannot stop himself from shitting his guts out.
And Batman is trying to hold back explosive diarrhea while this is going on.
Now, I would say that Batman, if he's going to walk into an abandoned warehouse, he's going to be in the bat suit.
Yes.
He's not
Yes.
just going to go there as fucking.
Yeah, he's gonna be somewhat alert. He's not gonna
I mean, if
know
it was-
what's
it's
in
Batman.
If it was a more normal place, but Batman in an abandoned warehouse, he's not going to walk in there without his fucking cape and
I
shit
mean,
on.
he's on high alert, but he's not expecting to fight anyone.
But
He's just like,
what
"Let
he
me check
doesn't
this out."
know is that he's about to face off against fucking Shang Tsung.
there and his own fucking bowels.
Right. And as he steps across the threshold, he has a horrible attack of rampaging lava diarrhea that he's clenching his butt cheeks together, trying desperately not to release into the bat suit, because
And look, Shang Tsung's gonna wait because Batman's gonna be like, I gotta take a shit really bad.
maybe Shang Tsung's planning was he dosed Batman at a restaurant or something.
Ah,
He took the form of like a Chinese waiter and put some Ipecac in his fucking drink or something so that he'd have to
Ipecac?
shit.
I've never even heard of Ipecac.
Ipecac is that, well, it
I
upsets
get
your tummy.
I get what it does. I get it.
Yeah, he's those Batman with a bunch of X-Lax, whatever. Batman's got to shit real bad. Dude, I think he just waits, man, because at some point, I'm sorry, even Batman, you're going to have to fucking pull down your pants, take a shit, or shit in the suit.
Or Batman, do you think Batman at some point when he realizes the level of threat is just like, I'm just going to shit my pants because there's no fucking...
I guess he kind of has to, right?
There's no point in resisting. I might as well just shit my pants.
But the way you're going to feel, that's going to take a huge step.
It's going to take away some fucking
It's also going to
confidence.
itch like crazy. You're going to have wet diarrhea running down the back of the bat suit. I mean, he's hindered either way. And I don't even really think he has a choice because the plot twist says he's trying to hold it in. It doesn't say he releases diarrhea into his pants.
So he's fighting that.
So for whatever reason,
he's not going to do it.
He just does not want to shit the bat suit.
He's like, no, I will not bring myself.
Not shit in the bat suit.
Maybe there's some kind of device.
My dignity.
Maybe there's some kind of device in the ass of the bat suit that we don't know about that if it gets
A
wet,
little vacuum or something.
some electrical thing that'll shock him if it gets wet. You know what I mean? He's got to
Who
be
knows?
careful. He
Who
can't
knows?
have damp shit hitting.
Well,
it.
I imagine he's got a sweat in that thing, so that can't be it.
I mean, so I have to
I think it's just a
acknowledge-
matter of pride, man. I don't think Batman is like, no, I'm not going to shit myself.
Here's what I see happen. Batman has, like that bowel pain. He's fucking grabbing his stomach,
He's squeezing his butt cheeks together the whole fight. He's trying to hold back diarrhea.
Shang Tsung's Goro is beating him with my fucking, at this point, ripped apart corpse.
I mean, let's be honest here. If we take away the preparedness and the thing, we'd be having a whole and the hindrance, we'd be having a whole different conversation with this one. But let's be honest about Batman here. He's good at fighting these guys, whether they're small and wily or big behemoths. But
True.
he's not used to somebody that is all of that. You know what I mean? Like Shang Tsung may not have benefited him as much if Batman didn't have explosive diarrhea and was totally caught with his pants down in this. But in this case, Batman's not even able to pre-prepare for the fact that Shang Tsung can be all these fighters. And, what Batman would do with that prep time, in my head, would be find out what the weaknesses of each one of these fighters is and exploit it somehow with
which
a
is
gadget.
his specialty.
Yeah.
But he doesn't even know he's about to face Shang Tsung.
And on top of that, he's trying to hold back a torrent of shit.
I mean, so that's going to take a lot of his mental effort just not to shit his fucking pants.
So I think that honestly, this one came down to roles. I think Batman's out. I honestly, if you can come up with a fucking narrative where Batman doesn't shit his pants and overcomes a dude that can literally turn into like 24 horrifying supervillains.
I just
I
think
I don't think you can.
I just think the element of surprise and that fucking really crazy handicap
Batman
is just too much to overcome.
I mean, Batman can put up a good fight, but ultimately with
And then you
everything
add
against him,
the cherry on top of the diuretic shit that he's trying to hold back. So he's already unprepared. And then he's got the fucking cherry on top with really trying not to shit the bat suit. There's no way he wins this.
dude, Shang Tsung claims Batman's soul, dude.
Thank
Your
goodness.
soul is mine. Which means that we're going to get a rematch.
We're down to it.
What is this 15? How could you need that? I don't understand how it could possibly.
I guess if
break
there's
down
a
that way.
tie or something, who knows?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Anyway,
It's come down to it. Iron Man
versus Shang Tsung, the rematch to decide it all.
Now, Iron Man took Shang Tsung out the last time, right?
Yes, he did.
Did he?
Yes,
He did.
Iron Man, Shang Tsung, yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Iron Man
what
took
was
him out.
that fight? What were the auspices under which Iron Man beat Shang Tsung? You remember?
I don't remember anymore. It's been too long, too many years.
Yeah, we had too many scenarios.
There was just too many fights since then. Let me see.
I do know it was very role heavy.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these have been.
He might have been more prepared.
Oh, okay, it was the portal gun battle.
Oh yeah, it was the
Yeah,
portal
you're
battle
right.
at the hospital.
Right.
And it was just that, I mean, Iron Man was prepared for the fight and Shang Tsung was not.
Right.
Yeah, and that was a big deciding factor because it was just too hard for Shang Tsung to overcome that armor with no prep.
Exactly.
So where is the final taking place?
All right, so the final battle, the New York City sewer.
Awesome. Okay, so
What a great area for this to go down.
Now that limits Iron Man a bit.
It really
It
does.
does.
He's not flying down there, not
Nope.
vertically at
so
least.
let's roll for
Might
Iron
be-
Man.
Okay, so Iron Man, I believe, is first in this. So yes.
Yes.
Let's do the dice roll for Iron Man.
Okay.
12, which
He's
means
unaware,
he's unprepared.
but unhindered as well, right?
Shang Tsung, yep, that's right. Shang Tsung
Is prepared but hindered.
But hindered.
prepared.
Damn, these
but
rolls. These rolls are always going to be a factor, man.
No, we already did that. No, we already
No.
did that. distractingly painful boil on their ass.
All right.
Dude, I think for this final one, we got to throw in a plot twist, too.
All right, fair enough.
It is the
because
final.
it's the final battle.
Yeah.
Wherever they are, it's on fire.
Oh, my God.
The sewer's on fire.
So burning sewers.
Wow. And a painful boil on
A
Shang
painful boil on Shang Tsung's ass. Shang Tsung is prepared. Iron Man is not prepared.
I got to be
Go.
honest with you. That we got to think about this. There's some severe limitations on both of these characters, but I think there's a really severe one on Shang Tsung. Shang Tsung is not impervious to fire.
But
are
any of his forms impervious
Yes.
to fire?
But that to
limits
me,
him.
in my mind, that limits him. The only form that I know of that you could make an argument is impervious to fire is Scorpion,
Right.
Yes.
who is himself a being made of flaming skeleton.
Right.
And
So
that's how he kills other beings.
Shang Tsung impervious. I'm sorry. So he'd have to do the Battle of the Scorpion.
Yeah.
Now Tony Stark.
Well, hold on, let me think.
Yes.
Let's think about the other things Shang Tsung can turn into. Let's think about other characters. Are there any other characters that we could say
Or make an argument for them.
or make an argument that would be impervious or at least resistant to flame?
Probably the robots.
The robots.
Now, I think that in prolonged exposure, it would affect them too, but I think they'd be a little tougher.
I mean,
against
I think
it.
it's
the same thing-
prolonged Iron Man, too. He can't just stand in an inferno forever, can he?
Right. Well, I mean, I'm going to assume that the sewers are not completely engulfed in flames. I'm going to assume that flames are present and
But there's
they're
sewer
a factor.
gases down there. There are going to be explosions
Yeah,
going
so-
off
Yeah.
everywhere.
So explosions are happening.
So Shang Tsung is going to play a safe bet. He's going to do Scorpion.
I think
or
he's
he's going to
gonna
do one of the robots.
I mean, he's got to be Scorpion.
But that limits one of his biggest advantages.
Is that adaptability?
Is that it limits his adaptability. Now, instead of having the whole roster of Mortal Kombat to pull from, he's limited to one or two characters that he can swap between.
Now, as you said before, Tony Stark is not exactly impervious to flame.
No.
I mean, his suit obviously is going to offer him some protection.
Or explosion, which is going to be happening. Now, we didn't put, like, the flames and the fire came from two different roles. Or
Right.
the flames and the sewer. And sewer gases are explosive. So
Right.
there's, you know what I mean? There's going to be explosions going on wherever they go.
But obviously, sewers are pretty narrow too. So, then, like Iron Man, even if in his suit, is going to have very limited maneuverability. Now, obviously, he has pretty good maneuverability still.
Well, he's limited. He can't fly. I mean, he can still fly through the pipes.
If we're assuming it's Scorpion can't appear behind you and attack you.
I'm
Yeah.
kind of
So-
assuming that we're in the sewers, kind of like what I envision in my head is kind of like from the Ninja Turtles movie, you know?
So a fairly large sewer.
So like a kind of ridiculously large sort of sewer, but you know these big, huge pipes and
Yeah,
stuff.
Right.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
So you know it's like you know it's a big sewer.
I'm
but it's
assuming
still a sewer.
because we're in the sewer that Iron Man's going to be in a
And
sewer.
by the way, also like the continued trend of the scatological here.
Yeah.
Yeah. These last three fights
Well, you
have been
know what?
literal shit shows.
This show's been in the toilet for about 2 years now,
Oh,
TJ.
oh damn! But you know, also, you know, we haven't even talked about the painful boil festering on
That's
poor
right.
Shang Tsung's ass.
I mean,
dude.
Shang Tsung, is he not a man? Does he not bleed?
You know, Shang Tsung might be an ancient sorcerer, but he's gonna be pretty fucking sad when a fucking painful boil is on his ass.
Who isn't?
I mean, it's a painful boil on his ass, dude. You can't just dismiss that and say
No.
it's nothing. It's
I mean, that's a
painful to him.
factor.
I have suffered with a painful boil on my ass before.
Yeah, and would
let
you
me
want
tell
to?
ya,
Would you want to be in a
No.
fight?
I would not
want
to fight Iron Man in the sewer with a painful boil on my ass.
even with the powers of Shang
Imagine if
Tsung.
like, you have the shitty sewer waters like splashed on your boil and stuff. Oh man.
Shang
Ugh.
Tsung's also, you know, he can create fire with his fireball.
Right.
So there's that. So he is slightly resistant to fire.
I mean, I'm sure he's more resistant than your average fucking Joe.
but
off the
I still
street.
think he burns like anybody else when fucking Scorpion does his fatality on him. So
Yeah, I
he's,
mean,
you
you
know
know.
what I mean. He's not fireproof.
Then again,
Never.
you know, if you fight Scorpion with Scorpion in Mortal
All
Kombat,
right. But we're
you
taking
can do the fucking fire move and still burn
All right,
Scorpion.
you can, but
Yeah,
It doesn't
what-
really make sense, but you can do it.
there's only one Scorpion in
Yeah,
our
well-
universe.
We're accepting this as
Gotcha.
being the only Scorpion.
Gotcha.
So maybe if there's in the alternate timeline, yeah, there's two scorpions that can kill each other, but whatever. We're not assuming that.
I
don't
gotta be
know.
honest with you. I don't see how Shang Tsung takes this one. He's got too much of his powerful maneuvers have been limited, and Iron Man's limited in terms of being able to fly anywhere he wants. but he's still going to be able to use that flight to, just zip around
he's
the
gonna
sewer.
be moving around at fucking speed.
He has that weaponry, and in Shang Tsung being limited, I mean, you just can't take that. If there's no limits, then Shang Tsung has a way better chance.
It once again just comes down, in my mind, to the insane arsenal he's got. And I mean, look, Tony Stark is going to collapse parts of this sewer on Shang Tsung.
Right.
There might
Shang
be some
Tsung is evil, so there's no moral implication
No.
for
And,
Iron
you know,
Man.
Iron
and there's
Man-
not people everywhere.
Yeah, Iron Man doesn't have this fucking compunction against killing like Batman does either. If it's necessary to kill somebody, he'll do it. And
Shang Tsung's
Shang
pretty
Tsung's
fucking evil.
definitely going to fall under that. He's definitely the most evil character on this.
I mean,
in
he's
this
dealing with the
tournament.
fire. His boil on his ass is hurting. He's like, "Oh, my fucking boil!" So
He's in close quarters, so there's really nowhere to run from these weapons that are going to be used against him. His transformations are limited by this fucking environment.
I mean, he's arguably only got 2 or 3, where before he had 24 at least. You know what I mean? Probably
Right.
way more than that if you include some of the later games and the newer characters and shit. But even if you're going with like 1 and 2, you got, like 20 characters there.
And even if he uses like a teleport and gets behind Iron Man and that's maybe a combination hit him, I think Iron Man recovers.
Yeah, I mean, it's more just like fighting one of these other mortal combatants who are nowhere near as powerful as Shang Tsung. Shang Tsung being, the end boss, at least of the first one.
Correct.
Right.
So yeah, I really can't think of a way to fanboy my way to a Shang Tsung victory in this one. I think it's got to be Iron Man,
Yeah.
honestly.
I'm in agreement with you.
And not incredibly shocking to have Iron Man
Where is he? Let's
win
see.
this
I am Iron Man.
Where'd he go?
one. I am Iron
There you
Man.
So the first champion was Batman. The second champion in this 2 years later episode, Iron Man.
Yep.
So and I feel like if we did it again, it'd probably be Superman. It's just always a man that wins. It's a very sexist show.
This show
Yeah.
is so fucking sexist.
Something man.
Doesn't
always
Pepper
wins
Potts
this.
get in the Iron Man suit at some point?
Maybe.
Maybe it's Pepper Potts
Dude.
Iron Man and nobody knew it.
Maybe we need to do an all-female one, TJ, so there's be no sexism.
Hey.
Guaranteed to have a woman win.
Good idea.
You know what
Good
the problem
idea.
with that is that there's really not that many badass dames. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I know what you're saying.
I know what you fucking saying,
Hey,
Paul.
what are you gonna do, Marianne? Slap me? Yeah. Scratch me with your Lee press-on nails? I mean, come on.
One of these days to the moon.
All right.
Bake me
You
a
know what I'm
pie.
saying?
Well, that was fun. The first time we did this, it lasted 2 hours. This time it lasted 3 hours.
Well, that's because you added all this crazy
I
bullshit
did add a lot
to
of
it.
shit.
It made it better, though.
But you know what? I do feel like it was
No, it was good.
It was cool, and it made it a little bit more spicy. So
It was fun. It was real fun.
I enjoyed
Well,
myself.
it determined a lot of the fights, too. I mean, previously it was kind of more just like, well, they would do this and they would do that. I mean, having the different factors, like time is frozen, or,
Yep.
one's preparing for the fight and one's not. I mean, that definitely adds another factor to it.
Gotta have some fucking gotta have some mechanics. I don't think I'd make the mechanics any more complicated than they were.
No,
but,
I don't. I agree.
But I think this is good.
No, it worked good.
I'd like to do it again at some point. And,
Obviously,
we'll
we
see
know what you
about it.
guys think about it, so let us know.
Yeah, let us know in the comments you liked it or not. Let us know if you thought it was a stupid piece of shit or it was one of the greatest episodes of all time. And if you liked it, be sure, if you haven't checked out the previous episode, we'll try to link it down below as well.
See ya.
Bye-bye.